Today I'll be showing you how to create a blog post in a WordPress website. So first we're going to go to our website. Once you're in your dashboard, you're going to want to go to the left sidebar and look for posts. So right over here we have posts. Click on that. And from here you are going to go up to the top left where my cursor is and just hit add new post. Now we built our website in Divi, but what we are going to do is we are going to click Use Default Editor. From here, this is where you're going to create your blog post. So what we're going to do is we're going to give our blog post a title. This is automatically denoted as the H1 for your blog post. So that is heading 1. And that is very important for SEO and identifying your blog posts. So come up with a good H1 for each one of your posts. If you are writing your blog post in a different area, like a Word doc, for example, then you can just go and copy and paste. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to show you how to structure your blog correctly when you do this. Okay, so I'm pasting in my blog post right now. So I just put my cursor here where it says type to choose a block, and I'm going to just paste it right in there. And from here, you've got the main structure of your blog post in for now. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to change a couple of things. What we're going to do is we're going to make these be identified as subheadings. You're going to highlight that subheading and it gives you this little pop-up bar. So the way that you denote it as an H2, it's called an H2 subheading, is you go to this left icon here, select it, and you're given a couple different options here. For simple blog posts, and for our purposes today, I'm not going to go over those, but I am going to show you how to turn it into a heading, and it's easy as 1, 2, 3. All you got to do is just click heading. And then from there, you can change the level of the heading. For this article, we only have one H1 and the rest are going to be H2s. If you wanted to put another heading underneath this heading, then you would follow the same process, but you would denote it as H3. So since we're only doing H2s, we're going to do that with all of the subheadings underneath the H1 heading. So I'm just going to replicate the same process. They're automatically being denoted as H2. And boom, there you go. Now we have our H1 heading, the main title of our blog post, and we have the subheadings, which are the secondary titles inside of our blog post, or H2s. Now let's talk about how you set the featured image to show up at the top of your blog post. To do this, you're going to want to come over in the right side, make sure you're underneath post, and you're going to select set featured image. From here, you want to select the image that you want to be featured at the top of your blog post. I'm just going to select this one. And then once you have that selected, come down to set featured image. So now that you've set your featured image, I'll show you on the front end what it will look like here in a bit. But let's say that you want to customize a couple other things in your blog post. Let's say that we want to customize this text, whatever it might be. So if we wanted to bold it, then it's pretty straightforward. You can bold here, italicize. This one is for linking. So if you wanted to link in your article to an external article or somewhere else on your website, then you would just go ahead and click here. And automatically we have this drop down that shows us our different pages on the website. So if you wanted to link to those pages specifically, then you can just select that page and then it will be linking to that page. To link to an external URL such as facebook.com, you would just grab that specific URL, plug it right in here, hit enter, and you're good to go. Now there are a couple other options underneath more. So you can add footnotes, highlights, and these other options. I'm not going to go over all of those today. They're fairly self-explanatory. There are a lot of different options for you to use. Now let's say that we want to add an image within the article between the different subheadings. So I'm just going to hover over this little area between, and you see that I have a plus icon come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit add block, and you're given a couple different little options here. what we're going to do is we're just going to select the image, and from here it gives you the option to select your image. I'm going to hit Media Library, and I'm just going to select the same image, hit select in the bottom right. Now we've got the image inside of the blog post. Now, if you wanted to change the sizing of this image, this is how you're going to want to do it. We're going to come over here to the side menu, and we want our image to be selected. And what we're going to do is we're just going to find aspect ratio underneath the settings clog, and we're going to hit the drop down, and now you're given a couple of different options for aspect ratio. You can select one of these options, or you can add your own custom width and height dimensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test one of these out. Let's see, let's do a wide. So it brings it down a little more skinny, maybe a square, standard, portrait, classic. So there's a lot of different options for you to use, or you could add your own dimensions and get really specific with it. So it's completely up to you how you want your images to appear. I'm just going to leave it on the classic for right now. So those are some of the basics of constructing your blog post. Let's go ahead and publish this, and then we can see what it looks like to the visitors on your site. To publish your blog post, you're going to come up to the top right section, and you're going to hit publish. And you're given a couple options for publishing your blog post. Underneath visibility, you can have it set to who you want to see your posts. You're given the option for public, private, and password protected. We're going to leave it at public for now, so everyone can see it. Underneath publish, you can set a time that you want your post to go out. For now, we're going to leave it at immediately. And for suggestion, I'm not going to go into this one today. Underneath suggestion, if you have categories set up on your site for different categories of blog posts that you put out, then you can assign it to one of those categories. And we're not going to go over social previews because that is something specific to the site that we're on, using a specific plugin. So you can disregard that one. Now that we have all these settings set and the way that we want them, we're going to hit publish, and our post is out. So let's go ahead and view it by hitting view post. If you wanted to add another one, then you can simply put add new post right there and get right on another. So let's view this thing. So now that we're on the front end of our site, we can see that we have our post out and ready for the world to see. So here's our featured image right there. There's our title. We've got our username there. Post date. It's in no category right now. If you want it to be categorized, then you want to create a category and put it in that. And the amount of comments is right there. Scrolling down, you can see that we have our information that we plugged in. H2 headings, the H1, of course. And here's our image that we plugged in the middle. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. If you guys have any questions or need help with your website and creating blog posts, please comment, reach out to us, and we'd be happy to talk.